Hi, my name Bendre Thompson and I'm back with another movie recap video. Today I'm doing a recap of Never Have I Ever Season 1 Episode 2, the highs and low of Devi's life. Never Have I Ever gets real about grief, intimacy, and human fallibility in its second episode, while still maintaining its humorous tone. In the episode 2, Devi gets closer to her goal of being with Paxton, but the path to true love is a rocky one. When Camilla, while showing Devi's mum her chosen outfit to meet her future in-laws, gets pinned down by the family bike, Devi's mum decides that it is time to sell the bike. It hadn't been her choice to buy it, but her late husband, Mohan, had loved the idea of it and bought the bike for the family. It was his attempt at being more Californian, which was a goal of his in the first episode. Devi's mum quickly finds buyers for the bike. A neighbor is particularly keen on it, but Devi won't stand for it. She may not know how to drive, but the bike is a reminder of her father that she can't let go. In an open confrontation between Devi and her mum, the neighbor was effectively driven away. While Devi's mum was cleaning the bike up for another potential buyer, she recalls a touching memory associated with the bike. It seems sometime after Devi's birth, the Vishwakumars received bad news about their ability to have another child. Her mum was so heartbroken, and Mohan, her husband, wanted to make her feel better, took Devi's mum out on the bike for a ride by the seaside. She later follows in her husband's steps and goes on a solo ride on the bike. Devi may not be her cousin's biggest fan, as we saw in the first episode, but Camilla is an accomplished young woman who is definitely going up in the world, but the problem is if only her family would let her. Camilla's parents have found her a possible husband, a man from India who she's never even met. And according to Devi's mum, the boy's parents are only interested in how well Camilla can cook and clean. Even Camilla's simple plan to wear a trouser suit is vetoed because it makes her look too career-oriented. So, she puts on a sari and has Devi's mum tried to give her talking points to impress the in-laws via the e-meeting. The e-meeting didn't go well. Camilla wants to talk about her PhD, but her in-laws want to hear about what she can cook. But these are the least of Camilla's problems. For 3 months now, she's had a boyfriend, Steve, a Caltech student who is decidedly not Indian. Despite their seemingly loving relationship, Camilla calls it quits. She needs to do right by her family, and that means giving up Steve. Devi's plan from the first episode to have a physical encounter with the school's best-looking student, Paxton, was going quite well. She's managed to convince her friends that it was all Paxton's idea, but Paxton himself seems fairly keen to pair up with Devi. One of the problem Devi has was, she has no clue what she's doing. Her first planned encounter with him was a disaster. She freezes up and tries to escape, cutting her leg on Paxton's trophy in the process. With some help from Fabiola and Eleanor, Devi ends up with some academic knowledge of what to do with a boy. The practice was also a whole other matter, but it's time to put her knowledge to the test. She went to Paxton's house. At Paxton's house, Devi freshens up, only to bump into Paxton's heretofore unmentioned sister, Rebecca. The two hit it off immediately, primarily because Rebecca has a fantastic style and knows how to deliver some savage burn. Paxton, however, was not pleased by this development. He accuses Devi of snooping around his house and trying to bully his sister. Clearly Rebecca hasn't had an easy time of it in the past. Despite this new disaster, Devi lets her friends believe that she and Paxton successfully had sex. Fabiola and Eleanor were thrilled that the three of them have boyfriends and are now cool, though Fabiola is quickly realizing that her interest may lie in girls. There's one more surprise waiting for Devi. Paxton arrives at her house that night. He's apologetic about his reaction to Devi meeting Rebecca. He's overprotective of his little sister, after all. Devi accepts the apology and the two decide to put the event behind them. But as Paxton walks away, he begins to see Devi in a whole new light. The second episode of Never Have I Ever manages to be just as hilarious, if not more, than the pilot. Devi is immensely relatable, and the incongruity of John McEnroe narrating her thoughts never stops being laugh-out-loud funny. I love the addition of Fabiola's burgeoning queer identity, and that Camilla's boyfriend is Asian American. This show is demonstrating how easily you can make an inclusive story. Hope other shows take a leaf out of this book.